YouTube, how are we? So, first of all, Happy New Year. 2025 is here, and I've not uploaded a wee YouTube in a wee while. So I thought to myself, do you know what? There's no better time to upload one. Just to basically discuss kind of my goals for 2025. I'm going to pop them up here. Personal goals, business goals, and there's going to be a couple that are going to be scrubbed out because you're only getting to know them yet, because it might actually happen sooner. Their goals might happen sooner rather than later. So that's something that you're only getting to know, unfortunately. But you will know when, if it happens. But anyway, back to just a chat about kind of what's happened with me over the past, since December really, after my photo shoot that I done in November, the middle of November. So I'd signed up for a bodybuilding competition, right? Which was meant to be happening in April 2025. I decided to pull out, right? For a couple of reasons, for a few reasons to be fair. One of them was I couldn't get my head in the game. I couldn't give my 100% all to that competition. And already, and I kind of knew this in the back of my head, I kind of knew this. Not when I decided to actually sign up for it. At that time when I signed up, that's what I wanted to do. And that's all that was in my head at the time. But a few things had changed since then, especially the goals that I'm talking about as well. One aligning with bodybuilding anymore. To be fair, I've been bodybuilding since my early 20s. It's all I've kind of known. So this journey that I'm about to embark on now, it scares me a bit, because even though I'd done something, similar at the beginning of 2024, I never thought I'd see myself going right back into it. But at the same time, like now, the goals that I'm going for, that type of training can align with it. And I'm quite excited at the same time, but I know it's going to be a long, long journey. I know it's going to be tough. I know it's going to be hard. But at the same time, I'm here for it. So there's going to be a lot of moaning, a lot of greeting. You'll probably see in the videos that I'm going to start uploading over these next few months. Obviously, I booked the 10K. You would see that on the goals that I'd put up. That's in June, so I've given myself plenty of time. Will I need to lose weight? Yes. Will I lose muscle? Probably, maybe just a little bit, but it won't be a lot of muscle tissue. I've also set myself one of the goals on here to show yous. All I've ever kind of known from my own journey in bodybuilding is getting lean through bodybuilding, right? But I've set one of the goals for this year to get lean through this type of training that I'm going to be doing now. I've given myself that goal because I also want to show people out there who, might end up coming into the same kind of situation that I've been in. Like, even though, we can call it competitive bodybuilding, or can we even call it that? I've done one show. Obviously, I've done a few photo shoots. I've been up and down dieting like this for years in terms of the bodybuilding way. Dreaded fucking minutes on the Stairmaster and things like that. Dieted really hard. More or less, I'm not going to say starving yourself, because at the end of the day, sometimes you need to do that in bodybuilding to get yourself down to the leanest possible way that you can. And I'm not knocking bodybuilding at all here, because at the end of the day, it's set me up. I've learned a lot, but at the same time, I think it's time to close my doors on that, because I'm not getting any younger. I'm thinking more along the lines now of longevity, in terms of, everybody knows, or maybe you don't know, but I do take anabolics. I have been for years. And there becomes a point where you've been pushing your body that much and taking so much supplements over the course of the years that I'm just not willing to continue doing that and pushing those boundaries and pushing, what I have. And that's just a choice that I've had to make, because a choice I've had to make because of the new goals that I've got aligned through business, through personal goals. And that's it at the end of the day. And sometimes you can have a goal set and there's nothing wrong with halfway through that, if it needs to change through circumstances, or, the specific goal that you might have might need to be put back even further. Like, there's absolutely no shame and there's no harm in doing that. Do you know what I mean? Just because you set something out doesn't mean that it needs to be done and then put so much pressure on yourself that, it needs to happen. Yes, of course, it would be great to do it, but at the same time, like, you need to look at it in the long term as well. Obviously, as I said there, for my personal goals and for my own business goals now, for me and Holly, and what we both want to do moving forward, and what aligns with that vision that we've got. For me, bodybuilding, obviously I've done it competitively, so I'm either going to be all in or I'm going to be all out. That's just the way that I work with things, and I can't give it my all. It's as simple as that. Like, for a while I've known, and I had to make the decision obviously not to compete, which I did, because I've got other opportunities and I've got other things in place, other goals, other things that I want to try and achieve, and plus in terms of longevity and health and stuff like that, and not getting any younger, that has been my decision. But at the same time, the reason why I'm telling you this as well is just in case anybody is thinking the same thing, or you might stumble across this video. Obviously, this is me telling you now. This is going to be the start of my journey, so you're going to start seeing the ups, the downs, the highs and the lows, and just the lifestyle that's now going to start coming about. I'm a bit shiting it, to be fair. But at the same time, I'm quite excited, because I can't remember the last time I'd done, like, obviously this type of training was early last year, right? When I'm talking about the Hyrox, the functional, the running side of things, I only gave myself like 9 weeks to do that Hyrox. As you'll see here in one of the goals, I plan on hopefully doing a Hyrox at the end of the year, giving myself plenty of time, focus on kind of the functional side of things, the running, building my fitness, building my cardiovascular system up, getting used to running. Like, I was an actual pretty good runner. When I say runner, right, back in the day when I played football and all that, right, I was quick. I know you probably don't believe it, but I was pretty quick. The long distance kind of thing wasn't my game. Didn't really like it. But at the end of the day, like, I'm all for it, and I'm going to try and do the best that I can going down this route now. So it's going to be fun. It is going to be fun. But 2025 is definitely going to be a different year for me. A lot of people must be thinking you're fucking crazy. A lot of people say that I'm a big guy and stuff like that. It's hard for me to kind of see that, but I know you need to be light. Anybody that's running, as I run about 100. Even if you're sitting at 100 kilo, you're a heavy runner, right? You're classed as a heavy runner. Today my check-in was 112.5. Now I know I'm holding a bit of fat. I know I'm holding a bit of water, and I know I'm holding a bit of glycogen. Because of the muscle tissue that I've got, I can hold a lot more of that. So the whole idea for the next 2 or 3 weeks is to drop that drop a good bit of weight, drop a bit of glycogen, drop a bit of water retention, and then maybe add in wee jogs. I've already had this conversation with my coach, told him kind of what I'm wanting to go for, what I've aligned for, and some of my goals, obviously, in terms of personal, in terms of fitness. This is what I'm wanting to go for. So we've set out a wee plan for the next 2 or 3 weeks to drop this weight, and then we're going to start kind of adding in some runs and stuff. Well, jogs. I'm not even going to say runs, because I know my shins. I've got quite big calves, so these are. I'm really going to need to focus on stretching and recovery, because I don't really do that just now, and I know coming into running, my legs are going to take a hounding. I've got quite big legs as well, so they're going to take a hounding in terms of running. My joints are probably going to take a hounding. So this is going to be totally new to me for the very, very beginning. I'm going to need to start up for the conditioning sessions that I've got are just more body weight than anything. There's no any weights in terms of like the Hyrox side of functional. If you look at it like that, I'm not doing any of that type of stuff. I think I've got a sled push in. That's about it. But in terms of all the other stuff, it's all kind of bodyweight stuff. To build my core up, because I don't really have a strong core, which, cut long story short, I've got a glute issue, I've got a hip flexor issue, and my rector down the right side is causing a lot of pain in my lower back, which also is because I don't have a very good core either. So these bodyweight exercises and stuff, it's going to help strengthen my core, which should then, basically I've got an anterior tilt in my back, right? Which puts a lot of pressure on my hip flexor. But the reason for that is as well was that because I've not got a tight core to pull it back in to straighten me out. So it's putting a lot of pressure, a whole lot of other areas on my muscles down that one side, which, by the way, was caused in my early 20s by trying to do a fucking 220 deadlift. Clearly, I was doing it wrong, pulled a muscle in my lower back, which I thought it was. It might have not even been my lower back, but that's where the pain was. And I've been fighting this for years. So it wasn't only recently until the end of 2024 that I found out exactly what could be causing the problem. Took me that long to figure out. So now I'm here trying to fix it while deciding to go into a totally different side of training. So that's going to be interesting. But at least I know now, do you know what I mean? Like every now and again, this would flare up when I got bigger in terms of weight. So every time I was doing like an off season in bodybuilding, or I got over like the weight I'm sitting at the now, because I've been feeling it recently for the past couple of weeks. So when I get to about this weight between 110 and 115, that's when it starts to flare up. So I know it's obviously a weight issue as well. But again, my glute is weak. on that side. So there's going to be a lot of glute kind of activation exercises, strengthening stuff that I'm going to need to do. Yeah, it's going to be a long fucking journey. It's going to be a long journey. But at the end of the day, as I've always said, and I say it to my clients all the time, like, if there's a goal that you're not, it doesn't scare you, is it really worth doing? A 10k to me, it sounds fucking horrendous. I'm not going to lie. just running, doing nothing else. I better make sure I pick a good playlist on Spotify, put it that way. It sounds horrendous to me. High Rock's Disney, because you know, you've got the breakups of all the courses, the obstacles, obviously all the stuff you do in between each kilometre run that you do. So there's always something different coming on, but running a 10k consistently just sounds absolutely horrendous. But if I can't run a 10k and I can't do a High Rocks, that's the way that I'm looking at it. Because you're at least doing a 10k. Now, it's going to take a while for my fitness to build up. It really, really is. But at the same time, I'm buzzing for it. And I want to show my clients as well that even knowing that I've came from a kind of bodybuilding background, and maybe that's why a few of them have kind of signed up, you know, to Nova as well, is because of my knowledge and that background. I'm not saying I'm the most knowledgeable coach when it comes to bodybuilding. I'm no. I had my own coach. I've learned through him. I've learned through doing certain things myself throughout the years. I've learned, you know, through doing it, educational courses and stuff like that. But there's probably people that are a lot more knowledgeable than me. 100% there is. There's always going to be, no matter what. It doesn't matter what you do. There's always somebody that's going to know more. And that goes the same thing for anybody watching this who is just on their fitness journey. At the end of the day, everybody starts somewhere. You just need to remember that. And you're only going to get better at what you do the more you do it. Simple as that. So I thought I would jump on and just share that with you. And it'd be brilliant to know if anybody in their goals or whatever reach out to us. Tell us, hold yourself accountable to it. Tell somebody. Tell one of your family members, tell your pals or whatever, tell your coach if you've got a different coach. Tell them what your goals are. Tell them what, you know, hold yourself accountable to some of their goals. Now, it can be anything, as you see on my lists. Fuck's sake, I want to try lobster. I think I've been saying that for the past 3 years and I've still not done it. Because I'm shite myself. But these goals, by the way, you can add to these. I know that this is things that just came to my head. I've added a couple of things in today before I even done this video. And there's probably going to be a couple other things, George, you know what, I want to do that. And it's just a goal, because as daft as some of them may sound, it's good to see it getting ticked off, to say that you've done it. Do you know what I mean? So they can be as daft as anything, or there could be really, really, you know, like you're aiming really high, that you'll see some of the business goals I'm aiming really high in. And I might not get it, but at the end of the day, it's there. If I get it, I'll be absolutely buzzing, because for my 2023 goals, one of our big business goals we hit in December. We set out from January to December to hit it by the end of December, and we hit it at the start of December. So that was madness, because that was our big business goal. That when I wrote it, I was like, I don't know if I should write this, but I done it, and we achieved it. So now we're aiming bigger, and it's up to us to try and achieve that. So reach out to either me or, you know, your own coach. Just tell them your goals and go for it. And I wish you all an amazing 2025, and I hope every one of you accomplish a good amount of the goals that you have set out. Now, obviously, subscribe, like, share this video, and I'll catch you in the next one.